Hello, many thanks for joining us. It's Sports This Morning on your award-winning station, Channels Television. It's so great to be here with you to talk sports, and we promise to make it an exciting package as always. I'm yours truly, Ayotunde Balogun.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
Good morning, I am Tayo Salam.
All right, so let's get on with the show this morning. Definitely we'll be taking a look at what we have on the lineup, definitely. We shall be taking a look at the world of Scrabble. Yes, Wellington Jahere is the World Scrabble champion, and of course, interesting times for Nigeria. What do we have to do to keep the game going, or the sport going, in the country? What were the things, or what are the lessons learned from that championship? We shall be taking a look at that in the show today.
And also, we'll be taking a look at the Super Eagles. We have 13 players in camp. Training started yesterday, and Toyin Ibitoye will be joining us from Abuja to talk more on Super Eagles preparations for the game against Swaziland.
Still on the show, another sporting scandal is brewing as the World Anti-Doping Agency has accused Russia of systematically doping their athletes and recommended a suspension from the sports.
All right.
Track and field. Russia may not just be there next
Scandals
year.
everywhere. Scandals everywhere.
Yeah, we're just dealing with FIFA, and now we're talking Russian
about athletics. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Wow.
But we'll
Get it cleaned up before next year.
Okay, all right, that's coming from Cecilia. We won't bore you with all of that for now. We'll definitely talk about that much later in the course of the show. But guys, an interesting one coming out in the world of football. Well, I say it's interesting because, guys, I know we were talking about it.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going. Okay.
Okay, you know where I'm going. So where am I going?
Okay, David Moyes has been fired.
Aha. David Moyes has been sacked. If you didn't know, now you know. And for those who know, well, I guess they...
it was expected.
Yeah, it was expected for a man who has really been in the hot seat as a manager of the Spanish club, the Spanish Giants. Real Sociedad, of course, have their own pedigree. But they've not been living up to that. He's been a manager for like a year, and now he's getting the boot. You know, we saw his antecedent in Manchester United.
He wasn't really that bad last season. I think he actually helped them last season, but this season hasn't really been cool for him. Because sometimes you start a season so well, when you're coming in, players want to play for you, everyone is coming in and all that, you're able to like manage the situation. But this season so far, the results have been very, very woeful. I believe that's the reason he just didn't last.
I agree, Cecilia. Last year they came 12th.
Yes.
So I expect the management of the team was expecting improvements on this season, but it hasn't been the case. They're actually 16th on the table at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think
they lost their last game to Las Palmas.
You know, newly promoted side. So I guess
they just couldn't take it anymore.
They couldn't take it
they don't
anymore,
want to dig deeper.
Yes, and AFN is saying it's interesting. David Moyes is not finding it interesting at all.
He's not.
Getting sacked
in
the space of 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah,
it's not a good one.
Yeah, but he's a good manager though. We have to. Yeah, he's a solid manager.
If you go back to what he did in Everton, you know, I think the decision to leave Everton, some will say, was the greatest undoing.
Yeah, but you can't really say that because everyone's got personal ambitions.
Money's that coming in. He wants to go to a bigger club, and they want to move to Spain and get all the money.
He had the option to go to a bigger club. He went to Man United. He couldn't really live up. Then he had another option to go try it, another culture, a different kind of football, and it's going to Real Sociedad.
He started so well.
Yeah, but he hasn't.
But what went wrong?
He hasn't panned out well for him. It's a shame these things happen.
I think it's really unfortunate, but of course I will also want to salute his doggedness or his bravery, if I may put it that way, for wanting to try out new things.
Exactly, English coaches don't do that.
English coaches, don't really do that, or British coaches don't really do that. So for him to take that, risk.
Scottish.
Yeah, Scottish, exactly. Thank you. I think it says a lot about his desire, his drive, or wanting to be the best, or to just get something going for himself. But it hasn't worked. It really hasn't worked.
All the best, David Moyes. Maybe there are some clubs who are actually waiting to want to have him.
Yes, there are a couple of struggling clubs.
You think so? You think he's going to get a job anytime soon?
In England.
Okay, now how many of the struggling clubs?
Leave Chelsea out of it. But there are a couple of struggling clubs.
But they're smiling at the Emirates guys. Arsene Wenger just got voted as the manager for the month of October. So for him, it's been a good one.
Yeah.
Okay,
one.
win the league and it will be better for the fans because they waited for so long.
This is the best chance for Arsenal to really do
Absolutely.
something. Challenge Manchester
Absolutely.
City at the top because it's looking like it's a two-way race now, horse race.
Yeah,
You
not
never know.
Really?
Not really.
Both of them had a draw.
Manchester
at the
United,
weekend. Manchester United, of course,
City,
were able to win the game
Arsenal.
after 3 matches. So it's
Well,
obviously not 2.
Okay, that's a question.
We'll find out in
Personally,
May.
I feel okay. We'll find out in May.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Seriously, let's get started. Because athletics, there's actually, the entry list is out. The entry standard for Olympics. If you're going for the Olympics, all athletes have been given a kind of an entry standard. And if they're able to meet that standard, they'll definitely get some amounts of money for training. And if you get to win the big one at the Olympics, definitely the money will be huge. Let's just take a look at what it's like for Athletics Federation of Nigeria, what they've asked, the standard they've actually asked the athletes to meet. Starting with the 100 meters, men is 10.09 seconds. For the women, 11.10 seconds. And for 200 meters, you have 20.20 seconds, and for the women, 22.50 seconds. So, and for 400 meters, for men, 45.20 seconds, and for women, 50.90 seconds. For relays, that also is 38.50 seconds. That's for men's 4x100 meters relay. For women, it's 42.00 seconds. And for the men 4x400 meters, you have 3 seconds, and of course, 3.00 seconds. And for the women, you have 3.28 seconds. Then for 800 meters, 1 minute 45.30 seconds, and for the women 2 minutes 00 seconds. And you have for the men 110 hurdles, then you have it as 13.35 seconds. Then women's 100 meters hurdles, you have 12.85 seconds. For the men's 400 meters hurdles, you have 48.95 seconds. Then for the women's 400 meters hurdles, you have it as 54.93 seconds. For the high jump,
For the high jump, well, loads of standards there. For the high jump, well, for the men, 2.31 meters. That's what we expect. For the women, it's 1.98 meters. So they have to get their acts together. And that one. For long jump, men will have to go 8.20 meters, while the women 6.90 meters. In the triple jump, men, we expect that they jump at 17.25 meters, and for the women, they can't go lesser than 14.60 meters. Pole vault, men, 5.70 meters, and for women, we expect 4.60 meters from them. And of course, the shot put, men, 20.60 meters, and for the women, 18.50 meters.
You're also looking at
my
the discus. Discus throw for the men is 66 meters, and for the women, 65.15 meters. For amateur, for the men, it's 79 meters, and for the women, 72.20 meters. For javelin, 83 meters, and for women, 65.10 meters. Then for decathlon, the point is actually high, which is 8,200 points, and for heptathlon, 6,300 points. Now, decathlon is for men, and heptathlon is actually for women. Now, the standard is really, really high. But the good thing is, if they're able to meet this standard from January 1st to June 30th, they definitely get as much as $2,000. That's the ones who are able to meet the standard. Then if you get to win, if you get to the finals, of course, when talking about medals table right now, for bronze medalists, you get $2,500 for. That's for silver medalists. You're going to get 10,000.
That's for the bronze medalists.
For the bronze medalists, you get $10,000 actually. Then for silver medalists, you get 30,000. Then gold, of course, you get 50,000.
$50,000. Oh my word!
There's some
mouth-watering.
Yeah, the money obviously
It starts right
but
now.
then, the athletes actually had a great time at the last in Congo a couple of months ago. They were very impressive in the performances, but then the Olympics is a different ball game entirely. The competition is a lot stiffer, as we can see with the times as well too. I don't know how many of them are actually going to make it. Let's take a look at the marquee events, for example, the 100 meters men and women.
Some would perhaps say that some of these times and some of these standards being set, are we really trying to take as many, or is it something to just trim down the size?
No, not really. There's IAAF standard, so that's what AFN is going with.
So it doesn't matter.
There's no B standard anymore, so
Okay.
it's A standard. So if you don't make the IAAF standard, you can't even go anywhere. This is actually to help the athletes to prepare themselves. Now, if you're able to meet these standards, you also get grants for training between January and, of course, June. So which is also a motivation for most of them.
Yeah. It's all about taking the absolute best to the Olympics, and that's why we
not
have
just
the
going there
standards.
to make up the numbers.
Exactly. And I was talking about the 100 meters. For the men, what do we have?
Okay, well, we have Ogene
Aguero,
Aguero. Then we have Shea Ogunleye. Shea Ogunleye ran 10 points.
Ogunleye is there. That's the national champion.
10.19 seconds out was he ran?
Yes.
Right?
So
then
that's not good enough.
That's not good enough.
Yeah.
Then you have Ogene Aguero. He did 10.06 seconds.
10.09, yeah.
10.09.
Yes.
10.09. Now,
Yes.
what we have here is 10.09. I think it's within that age bracket.
Yeah,
right?
he's
within
now
that
standard. Yeah, he can
bracket.
make actually it's run 10.06 seconds this year
which is
already.
really cool
So
for
that's good enough for Ogene Aguero.
Yeah.
But what about the others? You know, so
they need to buckle up.
They need to
Divine
buckle up.
also
Exactly. Define Odudu.
10.37. That's what he has run so far.
Okay.
But for the women though,
I think the women definitely. I trust.
Blessing is gonna
We
make
trust
it.
the women because the women of late have really been showing so
How
much
do you mean?
promise than the
Definitely
male
Do
athletes.
you mean you trust
So as far
Blessing?
as I'm concerned, these standards will really.
You trust
This is
Blessing?
11.10 seconds.
Come
I'm talking
on.
about. So I mean, we're talking about the standard. Yes, they will make
Okay,
it. But we're looking at
okay.
the podium right now. That's where we should be
All right.
looking at. I think that's the